When the Continuum War finally ended, the galaxy didn't celebrate. The ruins of entire cities still breathed smoke. The skies still flickered with the last dying embers of alien fire. And across the quiet wasteland of a world that once thrived, only silence remained. A heavy, aching silence that stretched across continents and deep into the fractured mind of a robot who once had a heart. This is the story of Rustheart, Robo-Joe, and the day he woke between what was and what remained. He didn't remember the blast that tore the sky open. He didn't remember the alien titan he once fought, or the moment his systems shut down. All he remembered was green, flickers of neon light, the distant echo of a voice calling his name, and the soft tremor of hope buried somewhere inside the static of his brain. "Joe, can you hear me?" Maria's voice was gentle but strained with fear. His optics flickered on, disjointed, glitching, blinking between memories and reality. Shapes warped, shadows bent in ways they shouldn't. The world he saw felt like a dream he had been trapped in for years. But even broken, he forced himself to rise. Because Maria needed him, and somewhere deep within him, a promise lived on. The alien fortress beneath them moaned with a mechanical growl, as if waking from a centuries-long sleep. Something massive roared below, a living engine humming with crimson lightning. Joe sensed it before he saw it. Something old, something familiar, something that tied directly into the chaos echoing in his unstable mind. Maria shouted over the shaking ground, "We have to move! The war engine is waking up!" But Joe heard something else, a whisper
Behold,
inside the static
Elysium.
of his thoughts. "Welcome back, Rustheart." It sounded like memory, but it felt like a threat. Tom and Dave stumbled in behind them as shifting neon corridors pulsed with alien symbols. Each symbol triggered more flashbacks, scenes of battles he didn't recall fighting, faces he didn't remember losing, cities burning under alien suns he had never seen before. Maria grabbed his arm, steadying him, whispering, "Stay with me, Joe. Don't drift." He tried, but the past and present had become a single tangled wire in his head, sparking, shorting, looping the same fragments of war over and over again. Still, he walked forward. Something in his chest, something more than circuitry, pulled him deeper into the fortress, into the truth. A burst of light formed in front of
No
him.
time
Soft,
left.
crystalline, translucent. Elysium appeared, like a spirit woven from starlight. It told him, "Your memories are stabilizing." Joe didn't believe that. His mind felt like glass that had been shattered and glued together incorrectly. But still, the AI walked beside him, its presence smoothing the chaos in his thoughts, guiding him towards something important. The chamber shook violently, and suddenly the war engine burst upward, a colossal creature of alien metal and stolen human technology. It roared with a thunder that cracked the air, its red-black eyes burning with hatred. Dave cursed out loud. "That thing's alive?" Joe stepped forward, his fists tightening, his chest core glowing brighter. He remembered his purpose. Not to obey, not to destroy, but to protect. The glowing continuum power cell lay deep within the reactor, like a star trembling inside a glass cage. Joe reached for it.
Your memories
instantly,
are stabilizing.
Memories detonated behind his eyes. He saw Earth before the war. He saw the day he was created, the day the continuum invaded, the moment he lost himself, and the promise he had made before everything fell apart. Joe, focus, Maria cried. He gasped, voice cracking with static. I remember. He finally understood. The power cell wasn't just a battery. It wasn't a weapon. It was a key. A key to restarting Earth's dormant energy grid. A key to rebuilding. A key to resurrection. But the war engine wasn't going to let him take it. Gravity pulses rippled through the room as the Titan lunged. Walls bent like rubber. Metal floated like feathers. Maria, Tom, and Dave struggled to stay grounded as Joe leapt into battle. Fists collided with alien steel. Sparks exploded like stars. Every strike Joe delivered echoed with memory. Every blow pushing him closer to the future he needed to protect. Joe grabbed the power cell and rose through the collapsing reactor chamber. The war engine followed, its roar shaking the entire fortress. They collided mid-air in a swirling vortex of neon and debris. Joe's gold-white energy clashed with the Titan's crimson lightning, a storm of light bright enough to burn shadows into the walls. Maria screamed his name, but he couldn't hear her, not through the memory of a promise carved into his programming. If Earth falls, I'll rise. And now, he rose. The reactor imploded inward, forming a spiraling vortex of color as Joe hovered in its center. Elysium's voice returned, soft as a breath. Rustheart, your evolution has begun. Nanites poured from Joe's
Stay
armor,
behind me.
forming wings of luminous energy behind him. His systems recalibrated, his memories aligned, his identity rebuilt itself from ashes. He wasn't a weapon
Trajectory
anymore.
locked.
He wasn't a relic.
Impact rating.
He
Catastrophic,
wasn't
but
broken.
stylish.
He was something new, a fusion of human memory, alien power, and something entirely his own. He met the war engine's final charge and shattered its core with a blast that echoed across the ruins like the first sunrise after the longest night. Silence returned. Not the crushing silence
Joe,
of loss,
pull back.
but the calm silence of peace.
I can't.
Maria rushed to
Not
Joe's
yet.
side, falling
Yet.
to her knees beside his scorched armor. "You're still here," she whispered. Joe's voice flickered softly. "I wouldn't leave without you."
Your core is
He
stabilizing
rose,
from
weak
emotional
but
input.
alive, walking with Maria through a tunnel of neon vines now blooming with light. The once dead alien architecture was transforming, reborn.
Joe, what are you
glowing,
doing?
Beautiful. A new
Ending what they
beginning
started.
rising from old destruction. And then they stepped out onto a platform bathed in the first sunrise Earth had seen in years. Golden light washed over Joe's armor. Maria stood beside him. Tom and Dave emerged behind them, battered but smiling. Elysium unfolded shimmering wings above them. The continuum is dormant, it said. Earth can rise again. Joe looked across the broken horizon. A world injured but alive. A world that needed rebuilding. A world that needed hope. Maria touched his arm. So, what now? He looked down at his hands. Hands that had destroyed.
You're still
hands
here.
That had saved. Hands
Wouldn't leave without
trembling
you.
Not from damage, but from purpose.
The
I
continuum
rebuild,
is dormant.
he said.
Earth can
I
rise
protect.
again.
And if the stars come again, his chest cord glowed gently, like a heartbeat finding its rhythm. They walked together toward the rising sun.
Rustheart ascends.